What's up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are doing well. We are back with another Nerd Talk podcast episode with another brand new guest, and hopefully this is going to be a very exciting episode because there's a lot of stuff to go over. We got some cosplaying to talk about, and even some more adult conversations. So this ought to be fun for sure. So guys, to get things kicked off and going, I'm going to shift it over to our guests so they can introduce themselves and we can get going.
Hello, I'm Phoenix Spider. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been cosplaying for 11 years now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, last year was my 10-year anniversary. I love crafting. I love making. I love ordering projects online and then putting them in a cupboard and not looking at them for a year. All of that. I started all the way back in 2015, and it just happened to be that I was going to Comic-Con with an ex-boyfriend. And, I was like, well, I'll do one costume and kind of join in. It'll be fine. And yeah, I've been cosplaying ever since.
My goodness. So what was that like for you cosplaying for the first time?
Well, my first costume actually ended up being a disaster. I wore it in May in London MCM Comic-Con, and it was Black Cat. So first of all, it was a hot day in PVC. Not a great choice. And then I was probably not at the event very long. Like, it felt like 15 minutes. It was probably longer. But went to the toilets and, had to obviously unzip. Went to re-zip. The zip disintegrated on me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, what do I do? I literally cannot do this up. Like, now I know that there are like cosplay repair people at Comic-Con. I don't know what they would have done. They probably would have just like safety pinned me in. But I was just like, this is my first costume, and everything's effort in, and it's really naked. So thankfully I had a spare change of clothes with me. So I had to sort of quickly run back out, get the bag, run back in, put the costume, put the change of clothes back on, and it's just sort of like, it's my first attempt at cosplaying done then. But yeah, I was determined that I was going to do it again, and it wasn't going to fall off of me this time. So yeah. So I guess it also covers the question about like, what's the worst costume disaster you've ever had?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So yeah.
So, yeah, that sounds like a very troubling first time cosplaying for sure.
Yeah.
Arthur, I know you mentioned you go to MCM.
Yeah.
Are there some other cons that you typically go to, whether it's like near your area or in general?
So my main ones are MCM and MegaCon Live that we go to near me. I have been to some of the little local ones to us, and they're nice, they're sweet, but there's not the same atmosphere with them, and that's what it's going to be like for a small town event.
Right.
Whereas and I do occasionally go to the Showmasters events. But I haven't been to one of those for a while because I haven't been to one of those since COVID because it's trying to work out which ones are on and when they're on.
Right.
But those MegaCon and MCM are the ones I tend to go to the most. And again, I tend to go to, when I say like my local one, my local big one.
Mm-hmm.
more than anything, because unfortunately it's getting very expensive these days. And the local-ish one is a 20-minute drive away. So anything else, it's like gotta get hotels
Oh
and
gosh.
yeah, and it gets more and more expensive, and I have a mortgage to pay. So
Yeah, I've
definitely,
heard that
I'm
from a few
doing.
cosplayers actually
Yeah.
about like just cons in general. They're
Mm,
starting to become more corporate ish,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
so yeah, which is there are a few cons I think they're still like still cater to the actual like fan base, but a lot of them seem to be
Mm,
starting turning more like it's more for a profit than anything else.
yeah. Definitely. I think there's a lot of like when you go around, you have a look, and there's a lot of like what's described as AliExpress
Hmm.
stands where it's just bought intact, and it's like you can actually buy it yourself cheaper. And a lot of mystery bags, and you're like, first time you go, you fall for the trap, and then you work it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I do feel like there is a little bit of magic that's missing, and I think it's because there's not as many sort of unique individual brands out there in the cons anymore. Like, I mean, I remember like there was a store, like the first one I went to, there was a store selling loads of like My Little Pony um, t-shirts and merchandise and things like that, and I was like, oh my god, My Little Pony! And I've never seen them since. No, obviously, like it's an individual company, um, but maybe it's just that they've been marketed out of the budget that they can't justify going
Mm.
and having a stand anymore. Like
Let's see.
too expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, give me 1 second. There we go. All right. Yeah. Are there any cons, like whether it's like in the United States or another place in Europe or whatever? Are there cons that you've heard about that you really want to go to at some point if you had the financial way of doing it?
So there's a fairly newish one. I say newish; it could just be new to me. Called Camp Cosplay.
Hmm.
It's in the UK, and it's like going to sort of like a if I say center parks, I don't know if you guys have center parks, but it's like, you have your little wooden huts and then you go in and there's like all sorts of different activities you can do.
Hmm.
So like you could try archery, you could go swimming, and in obviously in the summer holidays it's just filled with children, but there's all sorts of things that you can do there, like mountain biking. And it's a whole con that's based over like a 3-day weekend with lots of different activities, lots of photo shoots, lots of just community and things like that. That
Hmm.
I want to try and get to. And then I came across something like a Comic Con cruise, and I was like, that sounds wonderful.
Ooh.
So I don't know where that one was. It was when you're scrolling and you come across something, and you're like,
Hmm.
oh, I gotta send that to my friends. I can't remember where that was. I think that was stateside actually, but
Okay.
I don't know where.
Hmm.
Um, but I was like, it sounds really nice, and like they decorate all their like doors and stuff, and like people like leaving out little gifts like sunblock and sweets, and I was like, oh, I want to do that.
Who are there any famous like actors, actresses, or whoever that you've met at some of these cons over the years?
I have to say, I'm really bad at meeting celebrities and not realizing that they're celebrities. But I would say, is it Gimli who's the actor who plays
Oh, okay, yeah.
in Lord of the Rings?
Right,
The
right.
dwarf?
I can't think of his
Yeah,
name either, but yeah, the guy actor who plays Gimli, yeah.
yeah. Um, and I mean, he was at his stand, and my friend was like, CJ, she was like, Oh, I spent like a bunch of time like just talking to him yesterday, and I didn't have any money to sort of ask for his autograph and anything. I feel really bad for taking up his time. Do you mind if we go over there today? And so I can give him like £10 for a little autograph and a picture and everything. I was like, yeah, sure. So we went over, me, her, and my partner, and we were chatting away. Now my other half's a blacksmith, and whenever I tell anybody is like he's a blacksmith, they're instantly like, ooh. So you can imagine as soon as that gets straight, it's straight. I was like, oh yeah. So they're chatting, and he's like, so do you think you could potentially come over and help me set up my forge? And I was like straight in my bag. I was like, here's a business card. And my other half turns to me after. He's like, I can't believe you just gave my business card to a celebrity. And I was like,
oh my goodness,
I don't care who they are. Mama got to pay rent,
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I guess that would be it. But I most of the time, like, I could be talking to like an A-list celebrity, and I just be like, yeah, and somebody goes, that, you know who that was? And I'm like, no. And they'll be like, that's like Pamela Anderson. I'll be like, is it? Well, she's very nice.
We the other day we just had where I live, we just had Iron City Comic Con, and so we let's see, Drake Bell was there, Danny Trejo, the voice actors for Rick and Morty were there.
Oh yeah.
And just quite a few people that I've seen. I didn't get their autograph or anything like that. It was just their lines were like pretty crowded. I was like, I don't want to wait in this line, so we'll go do something else. So I've seen these people before on television. I think that's good enough for me.
I'm a little bit like that. Like, if there was like no queues and they were just like, hey, do you want to come talk to me? Which has happened. I happily go over in it, but I'm not really into celebrities. I'm kind of like you're cool.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Now there are some celebrities that I would probably wait in line for, like a Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
Even a Ewan McGregor for like Star Wars purposes. There are a few that I would definitely probably wait for. But generally, I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah. My mum once saw Patrick Stewart trying to park his car.
Oh, I do love Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, she just saw an old man trying to park his car and couldn't work out why everybody was staring at the poor old man who's desperately trying to park his car. And came back into work because I work with my mother, and she was like, yeah. So she was telling me all about this, and then somebody who'd been at this networking event that we'd been at. She was like, Patrick Stewart was in the car park. Did you see him? She was like, that was parking the car. That makes sense. But where we work, we're near the RSC, so the Royal Shakespeare Company. So again, you'll be walking down the street and a celebrity actor will just walk past you.
Oh my goodness.
And again, you don't necessarily like click it.
Right.
I don't know. Do you have the kids show Fireman Sam? Probably. I think it's a British thing.
Probably. I think it's a British thing. I don't think we had something like that.
So yeah, there's a show called Fireman Sam about a man called Sam who is a fireman. And for at one point, he was my client at work.
Really?
Yeah, the voice actor. Which is a bit strange when he started telling me like, oh, I do this voice, and he was like doing the voice, and I was like, I don't like it. It's not the right voice for your face. You're meant to look like Fireman Sam, and you don't.
Oh my goodness.
So that was good fun. He was a good laugh. Nice guy.
Oh, sounds like a nice guy.
He was. It was very lovely, and he did like puppeteering and things like that. So it was really, really nice. So yeah.
Tell us about some of the cosplays that you've done over the years. or like just like what are your more what's two or three cosplays that you've done over the years that you have been the most proud of?
Ooh, that's like saying which one of your
Yep.
children you love the most. I mean, a couple of years ago, I did the Harley Who Laughs from the Batman Who Laughs series.
Oh, okay.
And I had several setbacks in that, including making it in the wrong size to begin with. So having to completely start it all over again. And doing a lot of firsts with it, as well as working with PVC stretch fabric. So it's like the two things that are not great: PVC and stretch fabric.
Right.
So getting it through the sewing machine was interesting. I made up a lot of new swear words, and when it was done, I was kind of exhausted. You know, like when you just need to get to the end of it, like it is in sight, and it needs to be done, and you just so. By the time I finally got it done, I was just exhausted, but I did it, and I got it on, and it looked amazing, and I was really happy with it. There's a few like things I need to go back now and adjust and fix that didn't quite make it throughout the day. But I was like, I need a rest from this before I can go back and fix the boo boos. But I definitely want to do it again, and get it out and sort of get people, because I love people's reactions to things, particularly because it's quite a scary one, because like all the way down to here of my face is covered, and so that's quite creepy when you see somebody who hasn't got eyes.
Yeah.
But also then you also don't have eyes. Like I can see, but I don't have eyes. So we're like, oh, and I've got like proper stripper heels on as well.
Oh.
It is not one that I wear the heels for very long. It's like I get my photos and then I get out the shoes.
Hey, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
But what about you now?
So before we go more into your cosplaying, you also do more, adult-based content. Tell us a little bit about that and that journey. What got you into doing that style of content? Because I believe it's like some of it's like your cosplay and stuff like that as well. So just tell us a little bit about that journey.
Okay. Well, I'll start with, I was very blessed on the chest area. And from a very young age, I started to realize that it had certain effects on people.
I see.
And I kind of, like in the UK, we have like the page 3 model, and we'd have the magazine girls. And I always used to see them and think, so beautiful, they're gorgeous, they're stunning, they have amazing bodies. Like one day I want to grow up and I want to be like them. So pretty much as soon as I was legally old enough, that was it. I went out and I started trying to model and get jobs. Modeling as a job is not easy.
Right.
It's not easy work. I was freelance, so I was on sites. It's dangerous because a lot of time you do not know who you're meeting. You're turning up, and you think you're turning up at a studio, and no, it's someone's house. It's scary times, and again, you have to be able to deal with a lot of rejection as well, because you might be applying for shoots, but some people's thank you for applying, but not this time. It's not pleasant. Sometimes they'll tell you exactly why you didn't make the cut, and not always in a very pleasant manner. And so, I started off basically earning money by being photographed naked. And I've never had a problem with showing a bit of skin. And I always preferred doing more creative shoots anyway. So when it was like more than just, can you go from being in lingerie to not being in lingerie, I always found those projects so much more exciting. And when I sort of started cosplaying, it was like, hang on a minute, this is a great way to do both.
Mm-hmm.
And the industry, like the glamour modeling industry in the UK, like when I said like page three, the magazines, they all suddenly like at that point, so around 2017, I'd say, just crashed. They, all the magazines went under. So, and I'd actually sort of started working as a beauty therapist. Um, and it kind of like was then this sort of whole, well, like I still enjoy doing the modeling, I enjoy crafting. Well, why don't I start trying to work out how I can incorporate the two? And of course, when OnlyFans came out, and of course, like all my friends are like, well, I'll say all my friends, a lot of my friends are in the industry. So, as soon as like these sort of sites were available, they were like, Phoenix, like let's, you need to get on here. So I was on it on very, very early days. Wasn't necessarily doing much with it because I didn't really know what to do, and there was a lot of a clash of ideas between some of my family members
Oh
and
yeah.
their view of it. And actually, after like having a proper conversation with them, they were like, "Well, we were worried that you were going to go down the dark side and be misled, and base your self-esteem, your self-worth on it."
Mm.
And when they realized it was just business to me, they were like, "Oh, well, that's actually okay. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to go down those dark avenues, and you are a big girl and you can make your decisions." And as soon as like we'd had that conversation, that's when I was like, right, well, I don't need to be kind of hiding it anymore from my family. Um, and so I just tried to, you know, constantly work on it and try and earn some money. But anybody who tells you that it is easy money has clearly
Right.
never been in their life. It is not easy money.
I've
It
heard
is
that.
a
Yeah, I've
full-time
heard that
job.
plenty of times too.
It is a full-time job. You have to be your own creator, your own editor, your own content creator. You've got to be your own marketing machine. You've got to have the time to upload and schedule. You've got to try and work around the algorithms, try and work around social media sites that will and won't allow you to post certain things. And then you've got to
Yeah.
work around all the idiots online who want to give you their thoughts and opinions and reporting you. And, it's a lot of work. And, if you can get it going,
Yeah.
it's absolutely worth it. But it is a full-time job to do. And so it then becomes difficult if you already have a full-time job to try and be the whole industry
Mm-hmm.
in one person. So that would be my thing to anybody who says like, oh, it's easy, you just whack a boob out and men will throw money at you. Well, if it was that easy, honestly, we'd all be doing it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You could. It's and just like I guess any kind of market,
Mm.
it definitely can't get to a point of oversaturated content or to where for sure it's because
Mm.
there are plenty of people. Not plenty of people. There are plenty of stories I've seen of people talk about how they started an OnlyFans. Now whether they put in the amount of work that they needed to make it work,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I've seen people just say, I started OnlyFans, didn't really like it, and then decided to get off. And there's somebody I talk to regularly on like Instagram, and we talk a good bit. And
Yeah.
I was surprised when she started an OnlyFans.
Mm.
But then she decided she didn't want to do it anymore, and then just took it down, and that was it. So yeah, most of the cosplayers I've talked to, I would probably say a small minority of them. I think
Mm.
probably like at least maybe I think maybe close to like 10 that I've talked
Mm.
to or I've had on. do OnlyFans in some way, shape, or form. Either they
Yeah,
do OnlyFans or they do Fansly, or even both.
yeah,
Some of them even they'll just take whatever money that they get from those sites and they just funnel it back into their cosplaying.
yeah. That's pretty
And
much
so
exactly what I do because it's
yeah, so
expensive.
yeah, it works out relatively well. And so yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I don't necessarily care. Like if you want to do OnlyFans, that's your business. You know,
Yeah,
I
I carry on.
I I just never been like a huge fan of like watching people in comment sections being like, "Hey, you should do OnlyFans. Hey, you should do OnlyFans." I've never been a big fan of that. Like I don't like people trying to I don't like people trying to like pressure a female into doing OnlyFans,
Yeah,
if, especially if that's not what they want to do. Like if they want to
yeah,
do it, it has to be their decision to do it. Don't like
absolutely,
yeah, don't try to like
absolutely.
pressure them into it.
Yeah, I mean, like I've spoken to girls that I've met, and I thought, oh my god, you're gorgeous, and I'm like, you'd make a killing, like you know, have you thought about it? But it's a genuine like, have you thought about it?
Yeah,
Like, you should do OnlyFans because you could make loads of money, rather than you should do it.
yeah,
I did have like during the pandemic, I had a couple of girls come to me about setting up and getting referral links, etc. And they came off it pretty quickly because they were actually being bullied on OnlyFans and being pushed to do more than they were actually willing
oh
to
yeah,
do. And they just couldn't handle it. And I was a little bit surprised because it had never happened to me. But I would say, like, let's say, like, in terms of their physical appearance, they were quite a small, sort of mousy individual,
mm-hmm.
someone that you could see that could be easily bullied. And
Yeah,
I think that was it. Like, although that was like her unique selling point, at the same time, some people saw it as a way to bully her and harass her. And I was like, that's not okay. When she told me that that was the actual reason why she came off, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm
yeah,
not even going to argue with you. I'm really sorry that you had that experience.
yeah,
Um, you know, I can try and help you if you want in terms of managing that, but absolutely no, I don't want you going through that. If you don't want to go through that, it doesn't sound like it's worth it. So yeah, and it's such a shame that there's such a negativity around it in multiple ways as well. Like you say, there's people pushing, and then there's people judging, and it's
yeah,
like, but is it affecting you? Is it stealing food off your plate? Am I actually harming you?
yeah,
No. So what's the problem? You know?
yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, it is a interesting conversation. I need to do
yeah.
a video on it. I've been meaning to do a video on it for a while. I need to do one at some point, but yeah, it's interesting conversation to have. When
Mm.
it comes to you, tell us about the type of content that you do.
So I generally work up to sort of topless and nudity. So I like to do. So I do just a little bit of like just general lingerie and things like that. But I also like to do sort of sexy versions of characters, because everybody had a crush on a character as a kid.
Yeah.
Everybody has probably got a crush on a character now. So like, I mean, I was really surprised how many people have a thing for Velma.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
that's
I,
like
s-
one of my like highest earning characters was Velma. I was like, oh dang, you know. I didn't realize. It was me thinking everybody was after Daphne, and it's a Velma.
they like the geeky nerdy girl.
They do, yeah.
The
So that was a bit of a shock for me. But it's always interesting. Like, again, like this, there will be phases where, when Overwatch was really, really
mm,
like everywhere, and so I did like a diva, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, yeah!"
oh yeah.
But then you're like, "Okay, so I'll do a different version of like, if I did it now, people are like, yeah." So it's weird how some of them are so fashionable.
Mm.
Like suddenly we're into this because that's what everyone's into, but they're not actually into it really. So it's like sometimes you have to try and keep up with the trends, and then
Mm-hmm.
so it's also so exhausting to try
Yeah.
because the time you've managed to actually like get what you need to be able to do what everybody else is doing, they're on to the next thing already. So I try not unless I already have something. I try not to keep up with the trends because it's just impossible.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable. Um. So you were just so right out the gate, you were already kind of confident in yourself, so you had no
Oh yeah.
problem with
Yeah.
just putting yourself out there and everything.
Yeah. I have a weird thing that I'm actually more comfortable not dressed than I am dressed. You know, I have a little bit of a nudist streak to me. Um,
Oh,
I,
okay, interesting.
or like, you know, some of my photographers would be saying to me like, um, you know, so you've done your posing and everything, and then
Yeah.
you kind of have a rest moment, and most girls would be like, you know, unless
Yeah.
I was
No. Yeah.
told, I was just like, cool, I'm just gonna get a drink, and I'm like, they've already seen me naked.
It's
It's
true.
like it's not like I'm hiding anything they've not already seen. And I just, you know, while we're having a break, you know, just sit and have a chat, you know, and see how things, you know, see just chatting away. And they're like, you're not worried that you're just stood naked in front of me? I was like, well, I was 20 minutes ago, but you had a camera. What's the
Yep.
difference between this and this? There's no difference. I'm just as undressed. Like, there's no difference to me. And they were like, you're just really confident. And like, you're a lot more. And I think part of it was, is like, you know, you're a lot more confident than when you were dressed. I was like, well, when I was dressed was when I first met you and I had no idea who you were. So,
But now that's changed because we're very
no, I
comfortable
know
with
who
each
you are.
other.
I don't know
So
that, you know, you're not a murderer. That's fine. Like, let's get them off. Let's go.
so yeah, I guess that's a good way to transition to some of your cosplays because, like, I have like obviously I've some of the ones you have on your Instagram are some of the same
Yeah,
ones I've seen on your. You actually have two different OnlyFans, I think.
I do. Um, so I actually have three.
Oh, okay.
I do have a free one,
Mm,
which is kind of it's marketing more than anything. Like I'm not saying to anybody don't bother signing up, but it is there to be able to promote
mm,
the subscription one. I have one subscription one that was meant to be more of a tease, so it was like everything up to being able to, you know, lingerie
right,
kind of
right.
thing, and a bit more safe for work kind of thing. And then my absolutely not safe for work one. Um, but to be honest, it's like managing all of it, it just gets a bit too much. And I'm on several other sites as well,
Oh, I see.
and you just got to, because like I say, it's like you've got to get in there. You've got to do at least 30 to 31 days worth of scheduling of whatever this month is. You know, if you then get through one site and you're like, oh, I do it all again
Yeah.
and again, and it's hard to keep up with all the sites because there are so many out there,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm on most of them. It's just I've signed up and gone. I've not immediate like I've advertised it. No one's signed up to it. They're still going to the OnlyFans because that's the one they know. Um, so yeah, but you know, I'm always open to, you know, if someone says to me this is even better, I'll be like, cool, let me know. Let's kind of see what happens, and yeah, kind of take it from there.
Okay. Is there like a next like evolution of that particular content that you're thinking about, or is this pretty much where you're the most comfortable of doing?
Um, so I'm trying to contemplate the question. Um, so as in like,
So like currently, like what you do now,
yeah,
is there like another level that you want to go to? Because I don't think I've seen full nudity. I could be wrong. Maybe I missed it, but I think it's been more like just like lingerie, that kind of stuff of
yeah.
some different characters. Is there, yeah, going forward something like that?
Yeah, so you will find nudity on there.
Oh, okay.
Just the recent ones is on there. You'll actually find that there's over 3,000 images on the OnlyFans. So there's a lot.
Oh.
There's several years worth of, and I have tried to when they produced albums.
Mhm.
I do now try and make sure that I put everything in albums. So if you are signing up, and let's say you are into Velma, but that's not what I've got up at the moment,
Right.
you can click and you'll see that there is a album for Velma. Um, as long as when I uploaded them, albums was available. So yeah, I do try and do that and try and section things out. Even as simple of you want to see boobs, here's boobs. You want to see bum, here's bum. Um, you know, and I can always make and I take requests as well. Like if someone wants something in particular, I do take requests. Obviously, if it's for like a character that I don't do or I don't
Mhm.
have, then they will have to pay to supply
Right.
um,
Right.
that character because I'm not paying that out of my own money.
Mhm.
I do also send out, and I haven't done this for a while, pay to view videos as well.
Okay.
But I just haven't done it for a while. And they are a little naughtier. We'll phrase it as that.
I think I think I'm sub to what is it? I think it's like the extra spicy.
Yeah,
I think that's the one I'm sub to.
yeah.
So.
That's the one to do it to. Because
Oh, okay, okay. I got you. I got
yeah,
you. I got you.
so that's the one I concentrate on. And I was about to. I was actually going to send out an extra spicy video this weekend,
Mm.
and I got distracted while waiting for the video to upload. Completely forgot that that's what I was doing, and then shut down.
Oh
So
no.
I've got to wait for it to all upload again. Write out my little, hey, you wanna pay to see this video, um, and then leave them
Mm.
to send it out and see who bites. But yeah, again, it's even like trying to make content, like I said, the extra spicy content.
Mm.
Um, that's hard work.
Yeah.
Like I've got to. I'm a very busy woman. Like I never have any free time to do anything.
Yeah.
I'm either 100% or I'm dead. That's it. There's no in between. I'm everything or nothing. So I'm constantly on the go, and when I'm not on the go, I'm so exhausted um, that I'm crashed out on the sofa.
Mm.
Um,
I got you.
and I unfortunately I do have chronic illness as well, so I also have to try and
Oh,
prioritize my body. So
yeah.
sometimes I don't have a choice in having to sit and rest. It's
Right.
just the
No,
way
I
it is.
get it. I get it. A very good close friend of mine who we sometimes we do content together and stuff like
Yeah,
that. She has Indo I can't even pronounce it. But she also has like chronic illness as well, and it's the same thing with her. There are days where she is just basically physically unable to do anything, and
yeah,
so yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I have amongst many things, but a kind of the easiest one that covers it all is I have fibromyalgia.
Mm.
And fibromyalgia, for anybody who's watching this and doesn't know, it's basically an umbrella syndrome. So it covers a lot of different illnesses under one thing, but it's known as the irritable illness. So you have irritable nerves, irritable bowels, irritable bladder, irritable brain, irritable mood, irritable, you name it, basically.
Right.
There's not a function or a part of your body it doesn't affect because it comes from the central nervous system. So it pretty much powers everything. Um, so I've got more specialists than I could probably count. I think I'm overlapping on some of them now. Um, and trying to, I'm on several wait lists. And on the NHS, unfortunately, there are lots of
Mm.
wait lists now. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fabulous, but you do have to wait a very long time.
Mm.
Um, and trying to manage like a full-time job, time to do your hobbying
Yeah.
is sometimes a luxury. Um, trying to clean your house sometimes. I mean, last weekend we over here in the UK we had a heat wave. I
Oh,
tried to hoover and mop the floor, and I honestly thought I was going to die.
gosh.
And I'm not being over dramatic here. It was so hot, and I was so
Yeah.
exhausted. I just had to sit down, and that was it. I couldn't do anything for the rest of the day. It was awful. But yeah, it's
Mm.
horrible. I mean, I could feel myself crashing for the day earlier, and I was a bit like, I'm just so tired. I want to go to bed. I don't
Yeah.
want to do anything, but I gotta go do some shopping, and I gotta do this, and I gotta tidy my craft room, and I just
Yeah.
want to sleep. And sometimes you just push through and then um, collapse and then not sleep, because that would be nice.
I feel that.
Just lie in bed like, I'm so tired. Why am I not sleeping?
Oh my goodness.
All good fun. You just
Oh
have
yeah.
to laugh.
Oh yeah. All right. So as we get ready to wrap up, I got some of your cosplay or your Instagram page up, and let's talk about a few of them. So here is the first one.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. A little bit about this one.
So this is my Cinderella lingerie that I got like 6 years ago, and I've only just managed to get round to photographing it. This one has really kind of I've gained like probably close to 1,000 followers from this picture now, which is absolutely amazing. But yeah, I have a series of princesses that I've been doing lingerie versions of, um, and some of it's a little slapdash and thrown together, but it works.
Okay. Let's see. We also have because here's one right here with your Snow White.
Yeah, that's part of my princess collection. So yeah, it's a part of the exact same set that I bought all the lingerie from, which is now going to be going up for sale for anybody who might be interested in getting. It can be worn or unworn. I can clean it or not clean it. One's more
That's
expensive.
that's true. True. And then let's see. I believe this is a corpse bride.
Yes. Oh, I really need to redo this, as in like bring it back to Comic Con. But that makeup took over 2 hours to do. Um, so it's not one that I'll be doing many times because just of how long it takes to
Yeah.
get. But I really enjoyed that, and I really enjoyed making it as well. And it's surprising how many people don't notice that I have a bone hand. It's like people didn't click until at some point they were like, "Wait, where's your other arm?" I was like, "It's here." They're like, did you lose your arms? And I'm like, "No, I still have two hands." But yeah, it was really great fun, and my friend did Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, so there was just the two of
Oh.
us running around blue all day. But we definitely need to do that again together. It was great fun.
Then let's see. Oh, we've got a black cat.
Yes, that's I can't remember which number of Black Cat, because again, I've broken several Black Cat costumes in my many years of being Black Cat, but she is one of my favorite characters to cosplay.
Mm.
I have certain assets which really help me embody the Black Cat. Um, so yeah, um, I think I need to bring her back for a Comic Con soon. I definitely want to be doing the new Marvel Rivals Black Cat as well.
I'd
I
love
just
this as a poster, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would. I would.
just a nice little selfie.
You're right. It would be great to go along with these to help cover up
Yeah,
this blank wall. So,
go for it.
uh, yeah, we got a
A
Bo
Mando,
Katan.
not Bo-Katan, not Mando. Yeah, so that helmet was the bane of my life because I inherited it from somebody else. When I say unpainted, I mean like not painted up like that.
Hmm.
They had been using it for spray paint practice,
Oh, okay.
and there was many layers of um, paint over the top of it. And some people will say, "Well, Phoenix, why did you just not paint over that?" I mean, I should have just done. I shouldn't have thought. No, I'll strip it all back and start again and get it down to the base. But no, I decided that the best thing to do was to strip it all back. You know, I got the acetone, I got the white spirit, got the paint stripper on it. I was like scraping away to get it back down to the original 3D base, um, and then spraying it up and then drawing all the details on. So there was a lot of effort that went into that helmet. Um, I sometimes think, how have I not driven myself insane?
Okay, let's see. I like this one, a little hot, festive holiday one.
Yeah, so I do try and keep to the seasons. So because sometimes when you're trying to think about like um, ideas, sometimes it's like, what, let's make it simple. Like it's Christmas, let's stay Christmassy. So yeah, but who doesn't look like a little naughty elf on the shelf?
This is true. This is true. We all want a naughty elf on the shelf, and listen, you fit
Exactly.
that role perfectly. And so we need more like you. And then, all right, what we got right here?
Yeah, so the photographer here is one of my best friends, Jukebox Beauties. She is a fantastic photographer, and we both love vintage and gothic. So obviously, doing Lily Munster in sort of the cobweb bikini, it had to be done. So as soon as I came across that, I was like, babes, we need to do this. It's like, here's the reference images. She's like, I know the reference image.
Yep.
Don't, I know the reference. So yeah, we had to find a way to recreate it. So yeah, I almost forgot about that one actually.
Okay. And then, oh, I do like this one.
Santana, yes, another one with Jukebox Beauties. Um, you'd be surprised. Like when I went to Comic Con, and again, my other half went as Constantine. Like we do try and match, and everybody recognized his Constantine, and everyone, and you are. And I'm like, Santana or Santana. I don't know how you. I always forget how you pronounce it. Um, but yeah, it was like, oh, okay. I'll just sit here in the corner with my little magic wand. But it was lovely that there was another girl who was cosplaying as well, and she was like, oh, rematch! I was like, finally, somebody knows who I am.
Oh my goodness. All right. And let's see. Last one here. Here we go.
Yeah, so this was the diva, one of the divas that I was on about. Um, that I really enjoyed that outfit. I think I still have that one. Um, and I really liked what it did to the girls. I'm not going to lie. It really lifted, put the girls into the place. I have no idea how that top stayed on, to be honest. I'm assuming I probably had invisible straps on with that, but how they didn't snap, I do not know. So they I think that costume must just have a very strong will to stay upright there. But
Clearly, yes.
I love doing bunny suits. I think bunny suits are so fun. Like everybody should do a bunny suit.
All right. Well, guys, that is where we will end this episode. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you guys for watching. For those who are watching on YouTube, let me bring it back up. This is how you can follow and support. Let me do it this way instead. This is how you can follow and support. But for those who are listening on Spotify, how can they follow and support you through that way?
So my Instagram handle is PhoenixSpiderX, is in like a little kiss. But I'm on Facebook. I'm obviously, like I say, I'm on OnlyFans. I'm on most social media networks. So if you type in Phoenix Spider, as in Phoenix with the bird, so Phoenix, not EO. So it's OE. A lot of people get confused there. And then Spidey, Spider, like the creepy crawly. You should find me.
Yeah. All right, guys, definitely go and do that. And obviously, you can follow more content here on the Nerd Talk channel. You can find, I'll have the links down in the description below for everybody, so you can go down there and click on it and just make it easier that way. But guys, thank you again for hanging out. Thank you guys again for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.